Marriage is only between two people. Yeah, I agree with that.
A marriage is only between two people, a husband and wife. Even if your husband has another wife, that's none of your business. Keep your nose in your business in your marriage. Focus on that. Because when your marriage is healthy, you're not going to care about anything else. Especially since you married a good man, it shouldn't affect your marriage if he has another wife. That's his business. A lot of women don't understand polygyny or bringing their husbands other wives because they put too much of their energy into another marriage that isn't theirs. Do you put your mind into your friend's marriage? Some ladies do that and they ruin those marriages. Don't let anyone ruin your marriage. But just mind your business and remember, at the end of the day, a marriage is only between two people, the husband and the wife.
Wait, I don't agree with that. A marriage is between two people. That's it. Not sets of two people, just two.
Respect your husband. Obey your husband.
Okay, wait. This is just a joke. This is just it's satire, right? That's what they're saying. This is just satire. This is not like actually what they believe. It can't be.
You brought me about 20 something, 23, I want to say.
And that's not counting ones that he's seen and he was interested in on his own. So sometimes he's out in
Wait, she said that. Okay, wait. She brought him 23 different women? 23 different women? You brought him 23 different women?
he'll see someone that he's like, oh, I'm interested in
Exploring the
idea of marrying her. And he'll tell me, and he'll bring me to meet the girl before he even talks to the girl or takes any type of step, which is nice because it's respectful. I'm included from the beginning. And in return, I do the same. I find people that I think, oh, wow, like I like her. I like her Dean. I like how she is. I think she can make my husband a better man. And I'll present her to him.
You brought your husband 23 different women and not one of them was a barber? Because he's in desperate need. I apologize. Wait, she said I bring my husband these different women because I believe that she can make my husband a better man. You don't believe that you have that inside of yourself? You believe that you have to reach outside of your marriage to find another woman to make your husband a better man? You don't think that you can achieve that between just you two and God? Why do we have to involve other people?
When I saw on Instagram, a close friend, I present the idea, and if he's interested and thinks they're attractive.
A close friend is crazy. I mean, everything is crazy, but nobody's off limits? So if your sister thought that your husband was attractive, you bringing her to the table too? Like I'm deeply concerned here. I'm deeply concerned.
Then he can pursue it. If not, then we don't even have to tell the lady.
Yeah.
A lot of men want to have more than one wife, but they do it sneakily. Like they lie to their wives. What do you say to that?
That smile, bruh. He's sneaking around. It's crazy, bro. You sneaking around and you have your wife bringing you extra wives and you still sneaking? The lustful desire will never be satisfied, no matter how many wives you have. But I thought in Islam you could only have up to 4 wives. Is there no limit? I thought it was 4.
Boy, be a man. A man is honest.
I like that. And honesty gives them a chance to opt in or opt out, especially if you're single. Be honest, and this way the woman will know what you want, who you are, and she won't feel like she's betrayed or lied to. It's not nice to hurt people. And when you're honest, you get
Think about it like this. A man with only one wife, okay, that's good. He's faithful. But a man with 3 women, that's 3 times more faithfulness than the beta with only one wife.
She said then the beta with only one wife. Isn't it only 4? Only 4. Okay, wait, here we go. Why is man allowed to marry 4 wives? Okay, so this woman, she asked a question. She said that she believes that marriage is between 2 people. That's it. Not no 2, 2 in multiple sets of 2, but just 2. Listen to the response she gets.
See the rest of the world. If you see New York alone, there are 1 million females more than males. In USA alone, there are 7.8 million females more than males. In UK alone, there are 4 million females more than males. In Germany alone, there are 5 million females more than males. In Russia alone, there are 9 million females more than males. And God alone knows how many millions of females are more than males throughout the world. Suppose I agree with your philosophy, sister. You said, 1 man, 1 woman. If I agree with you, sister, with your philosophy, 1 man, 1 woman. And suppose my sister happens to be in America, or your sister happens to live in America. And suppose the market is saturated. 1 man, 1 woman, saturated. Yet there will be 7.8 million females who will not find life partners. 1 man, 1 woman. Now the option for these 7.8 million females is either marry a man who already has a wife or become public property. You say, Dr. Zakir Naik, public property, such a harsh word. Sister, it is the most sophisticated word I can use.
Public property is a crazy term. You're implying that a woman's value is exclusively held in her ability to find a partner to marry. And if she's single, then she holds no value and as a result will be public property. Now, if you think back to because I remember I was researching, because I was going to do a video on polygamy, because there was this, there still is this really big movement in polygamy right now. And I was doing some research on it and I was asking and trying to find out, in the Bible, how come so many different people in the Bible? Well, not so many, but how come there's, a handful of people in the Bible with multiple wives? And you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really understand it. Because if you look, so Lamech married 2 women in the Old Testament. Abraham, Jacob, David, Solomon, and others had multiple wives. Solomon, most famously, obviously, had 700 wives and concubines. There was something that I saw. So it said, so God, and so this is from gotquestions.org. This is just one of the things that I was looking at when I was researching. So this is from a previous video. This wasn't even for this video. This is for something different. But it said, so God may have allowed polygamy to protect and provide for the woman who otherwise may have been left destitute. A man would take multiple wives and serve as the provider and protector of all of them, while definitely not ideal, living in polygamous household was far better than the alternative of prostitution, slavery, or starvation. In addition to the protection provision factor, polygamy enabled a much faster expansion of humanity, fulfilling God's command to be fruitful and increase in number, multiply on the earth. Okay, so that's kind of like what he's saying. So it's kind of like what he was saying in terms of bruh, if you don't find a wife from a woman's perspective, if you don't find a husband, then you're public property. So wouldn't you rather just be with a man and have multiple, sister wives, or would you rather be public property? But I don't know. That doesn't feel like an argument that would hold up today. It just doesn't. How does God view polygamy today? Even while recording cases of polygamy, the Bible presents monogamy as the plan that conforms most closely to God's ideal for marriage. The Bible says that God's original intent was for one man to be married only to one woman. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be unified to his wife, not wives. That's important. And they will become one flesh, not fleshes. Genesis 2:24. The constant use of the singular in this verse should be noted. Later in Deuteronomy 17:14-20, God says that the kings were not to multiply wives or horses or gold. While this cannot be interpreted as a command that kings must be monogamous, it does indicate that having multiple wives causes problems. Such problems can be clearly seen in the life of Solomon. So from a biblical standpoint, during that time, having multiple wives from, the man and the woman's perspective, it wasn't ideal, but the alternative was prostitution. The alternative was slavery. The alternative was starvation during that time. Today, we live in a totally different time, my brother. So to say that this is allowed and okay because otherwise the woman wouldn't survive, I think you're just making excuses, my brother. That's what I think.
Not use a more sophisticated word than public property. According to the Statistics of America, do you know, on an average, a man, before he settles down with a wife, he has 8 different sexual partners. Do you know that? On average, 8. Some may have 1, some may have 10, some may have 28 sexual partners before he settles down with one. So the only option remaining, so if my sister happens to live in America, or if your sister happens to live in America, and the option is given to her, and suppose the market is saturated, every man has found a woman for himself. And unfortunately, if my sister, or if your sister happens to be one of the women who has not found a life partner, the only option for them is either marry a man who already has a wife or become public property. Any modest woman would opt for the first. Sister, what would you opt for your sister? Marrying a man who already has a wife or become public property?
My sister's too young to be married, so...
When she grows up and if she happens to go to America, or if you happen to be in America,
Third choice.
what would you prefer for her? You're the elder sister. Would you prefer her becoming public property or marry a man who already has a wife and get equal rights? In Islam, if you have a second wife, you give equal rights. In America, the public property has got no rights. She's degraded. She's dishonored.
He called the woman the public. He called the woman the public property.
In Islam, she has equal rights.
It's not funny. It's just outrageous. That's why I'm laughing.
She gets honor. What would you prefer for younger sister when she grows up? Sometimes it's difficult to speak the truth, sister, correct? Especially in front of such a large audience. Anyway, I've got your answer, sister.
Thank you.
And your silence speaks for that. So that's the reason in Islam, sister, men have been allowed to marry more than one wife is to protect the woman, not to degrade her. Regarding a question, is it compulsory that the husband should take the permission of the wife? It's not compulsory because if she wants to protect, if that man wants to protect another woman, a normal woman, I agree with you, sister, no woman under normal circumstances would like to share the husband. You have to agree. This is human nature. But if the woman is a good Muslimah, is a good Muslim woman, what she says, let a small loss take place to prevent a big loss. She will say, I know sharing my husband is a loss for me, but I would prefer letting a small loss take place for me to prevent my sister becoming public property. She's a good human being. So,
Hey, this man is the ultimate finesser. He said, look, if she's a good Muslim woman, you gotta compromise. You gotta, look, potentially I could leave this marriage right now and you would be left with nobody. But if you just take a small loss, just take a small hit, Just allow another wife into the equation. I ain't asking for much. Then we can save this whole thing. We could all be a big happy family. But you want to be selfish and you just want me all to yourself. That man is the ultimate finesser. Y'all gotta let me know what's up with this, bruh. Hey, y'all. I could see why dudes, want to get involved. I could see why there's so many men in the crowd. This appeals to all types of lustful desires. I could see, but listen, we live in a different time. And the Bible is very clear on the design of God's intended design is for man to be married to one woman. That's God's intended design, not to have multiple wives. Because earlier in this video, he was saying that Islam is the only religion that says that man and woman should be in a union just between them two. But then he says that it also makes exceptions for different cases. I don't know, man. This is confusing stuff. I could see right through it. Let me know what you think, though. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.